Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I am really excited to share with you Tower Up. This is a 2 to 4 player game that takes about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to play and has nice scale for a 2-player game and the 3 and 4. Players are racing to build the tallest buildings and hopefully keep as many of their roofs at the top of the building as possible. So let me show you what's in the game. Out here is this big old board. Now this is for the 3 to 4 player side. On the other side, on just half of the board, is the 2-player map. So it scales again really well for 2. At the very top, you're going to see these are going to be the public objectives. These are the things that players are going for, and it is a race because the first person to accomplish each of those goals will receive the 7-pointer, and players have a space in their personal player board for the circle, the square, and the hex objectives. Now these cards can be replaced with other goals. These are the start goals that are recommended by the game, and I also recommend them too. You're also going to set out 3 of these building blocks based on the base of these randomly placed cards. This is going to be our deck of cards from the market that's out here. And that's all you need to do for setup. Players get these cool little trucks, these little tractors and builders, because again, we're constructing these skyscrapers, and they're going to place them in their tracks. That's it. We're ready to go. Everybody has one of each of the 4 colors of the buildings. And the first choice that a player has is 2 things. So on your turn, you simply do one of these 2 things. You will take a card that's in the market, gaining all the resources. Done. You replace the card and your turn's over. So let's have yellow player go first. They're going to take that choice. They're going to take this card. You're going to look at it, and it's 2 brown bases and 2 black bases. So we'll put this card over here in the discard, and we will simply take the 2 black and we'll take the 2 brown. Done and done. He has, or my opponent over here, yellow, has 8. You can never have more than 10 at the end of your turn. These are going to be just those floors. All right, that's it. It's going to go to me, and then I'm going to make sure that that card is revealed so that there are always 3 cards in the market, and I get to make a choice of that same thing, taking a card, gaining those actions, or I can start a new building. Starting a new building is pretty easy. All you need to do is have a floor that goes adjacent to, these 3 are adjacent to this particular building, and it can't match the type of building. So I can take anything but gray and go into one of these locations. So I'm going to take black, and I'm going to do that. Now, there is a cost though. I need to pay all of the adjacent locations to the space that I'm in 1 more stack of that matching color to the building. So I put that one right there, and then I put my roof on top of the one I just built. That's going to be how you build a building, and you do have a limited number of roofs. When someone places their last roof, that triggers the end of the game. So that's how you build. And that's it. Make sure that you always build adjacent to an existing building. The building you build can't match any adjacent spaces. And you always pay those adjacent spaces to make them taller, matching that particular type of building. The last thing you do is you score. I'm now going to look at the height of the building. This is my roof building. And I'm going to move that number of floors that I have based on my tracks. I'm going to move my black tractor 1 dot on the black tractor space. That's going to be it for starting a new building. We keep going around the table. It looks like orange player's going to go, pink player's going to go. We're going to come back. I've only got 2 players set up here, but that's all you're going to do on your turn is take a card, or you're simply going to start a new building. Now, just because there's a roof on here doesn't mean that something can't be built on top of it. You're going to start burying the roofs as you continue building all over the location, all over the entire city. And you'll see that there are particular regions out here as well that do correspond with those main global objectives. These objectives, for example, are if you have some kind of presence which doesn't have to be the top. It could be anywhere inside the building in these locations that are in parks. So for example, one of the reasons why I wanted to build here inside this park was because it's 1 towards the 4 for me to get that 7 before everyone else. So that's going to be one of those towards this goal here. This one says that you've got buildings that are built with roofs on each of those 4 colors or 4 types of buildings. Right now I've got one in black. If I can get one in gray, one in white, and one in brown, then I can claim that. And this one just says that you've got presents, which is one of your roof tiles or tokens, in each of these 5 locations. And then you can grab up that particular chit and you put it inside your score, your personal player board right here. So the way that you're going to score the points at the end of the game is for all of your markers, you're going to essentially count up the distance that your tractors or your trucks drove. And there are a variety of ways to get that movement. One is, of course, to score on really tall buildings so that you can count each one of those floors towards the progress. In the beginning of the game, the buildings are really short. They're really small, and so you're not getting a lot of those victory points, but you could later on add to an existing building that's already been added to, and it gets really, really tall. You can also gain them by taking these cards on your turn. You get to take one card or build a building, and in this case, you get to move your gray tractor 2 spaces forward on your track. And by doing that, you simply are going to be getting more and more victory points. And the victory points in this game are money, so it's like millions of dollars. Once all of your markers have reached this blue line or gone past it, when that very last one does, you get an extra turn. This is going to be a really, really great opportunity to go again by grabbing a card or by building a building with one of your roof tiles. The next thing, so you're going to add up the progress of all of your tractors. So let's say all of your trucks go this far. Then you're going to look out at the board and you're going to look top down and you're going to say, how many roofs of my color can I see? You go 1, 2, 3, let's say you had 4 that were showing. Then you're going to move that marker and then you're going to add up all 5 of those markers in progress. And you're going to say 7, 7, 5, 7, and 11. You're going to add the points on your objectives that you essentially won in the middle of the game. And whoever has the most will win Tower Up. This is a fast game. I am so surprised that every time I play, no matter how many players, it goes by so quickly. And it's because the choice on your turn is take a card, and if you get 10 or more, you have to essentially discard down, which forces you to then build buildings with your roofs. You build the towers and then put your roof on top. And so you're going through your roofs a lot faster than you kind of want to, but that's the point of the game. And other players are going to build and they're going to cover up your roof. So let's say one person went here and then, let's have them do a brown building. So they put one here and then they have to pay an adjacent space. They have now covered up this building, and then he'll take the roof. And in this case, this is where you get the choice. Before I placed it on black, and I could have placed it on gray, because you place it on any space where you added a new floor, which could be this space over here. And so there's this choice of where did you add a floor? It could be the payment to the adjacent space or the existing space that you placed a new one down on. But in this case, instead of moving one on brown, he would go up 2 on black. And so there's just some really easy decisions in that. Do you take resources or do you build a building? And then when you get to building your buildings, your towers, you're looking out there for how can you race to get those objectives and how can you move up on your tracks to get the bonus turns and to leave as many roofs on top of the towers as possible to gain that other track of victory points at the end of the game. There's also a really nice feature where someone will end the game and then they get to score, but then everybody after them gets to take one more turn doing one action and then scoring themselves so that they can put maybe some more things on top and they can count the roofs and get more progress. And so each player is going to have a chance to have their turn and then resolve their final score, which is a really fascinating feature. It scales really, really well for 4, and I think it's just a delightfully light strategy game that gives you just enough choice to have a fantastic time. Plus, there's the variety of having even more of those objective cards to change out what your goals are for every single round. So that's going to be it for me and Tower Up. I'll see you later, folks. Bye.